How many bluffers, though? How many bluffers are there that have a junk?
That's the question. Though, remember, I've been saying this. Tell me a team that is rebuilding. Tell me a team that, and so I think you can choose a couple. Pittsburgh probably is going to blow things up. Buffalo, I think, again, might be a team that wants to get younger. Like, I don't know.
Paterka's like 19 years old.
I think he's 23.
I'm being facetious.
No, but they
like
traded for 23-year-olds. They like
right.
It's a lateral move, I guess. So I think.
Oh, what, Hayes? You're mad at Buff still? Are you just confused?
They're completely irrelevant to me.
Wow.
Honestly, like I can't be more blunt than that. They're the 14 years without making the playoffs. I don't think they're even close. I don't like Kesselring. I don't know enough about the kid. Big right-handed shot, plays with an
defenseman.
edge.
Yeah,
and I understand why you do that because you have Dahlin and you got power. Clearly,
right.
You know, there's, and I understand that the Peterka stuff. His name just became obvious they were going to trade him. You know, something happened there. Something was seen. Someone had an impression of that player in Buffalo where it was a foregone conclusion he was going to go. But this is like I feel for people in Buffalo. When I say that, I'm talking about the Sabres. I'm talking Pagula, I guess Kevin Adams.
Fan base.
Yeah, I feel for the fans, man, because they're great hockey fans, and they've been around forever. And I remember being in that spot with the Leafs. Like when the Leafs were 6, 7, 8 years into that decade of death and doom. It was awful. It's a horrible existence as a fan. And they're just, I don't know, spinning their wheels. Like that's kind of how I read it. Like Peterka's a really good player, and Kesselring and Doan could be good players, but
what is the deal with
Buffalo
Peterka, Noodles? Did he go to the team and say, I don't want to play here anymore? Like, why would a team move off?
Trying to sniff around on him, like people out of Buffalo I talked to, trying to sniff around as to, you know, was he going to be a long-term guy? Is he? This is what I was told yesterday. He's not a driver.
What does that even mean, a long-term guy?
Like a guy who's going to sign an 8-year deal there on an extension after an RFA, like that type of stuff. I don't know, but like in digging in a skill set, they're like, yeah, he's a finisher but not a driver. I'm like, okay, but that's fine. Like, not everybody's a 1. You can be a 2. You can be a 3 type of thing. I like him. Like the games, I remember him as a very skilled guy. Utah's trying to get better. I don't know what Buffalo's doing, a lot of lateral moves, but that's, you know, the one thing, that's the team I circle and go, okay, is Tage Thompson available? Is Alex Tuck available? Like, that's what I would be looking at if I'm teams that are looking to get over the hump, adding really good player. Like Tage Thompson's a hell of a player. Same with that Alex Tuck.
Yeah.
Like, those are good, big.
Really good players.
You know,
and the history of the Sabres would suggest that they could be available.
But and the other thing I'll add, Ryan, too, is these guys are now late 20s. So if you're going younger, like then does that fit? Do they fit the mold? Does Thompson and Tuck fit the mold of
so what is Buffalo going to do? The amazing thing about Buffalo, and again, this is why I preface this by saying I feel awful for their fans, and I'm being genuine in that. I'm not. This isn't me.
Well,
you know,
of course it's awful for the
on
fans. It's 14 years, no playoffs.
That's my point. They tanked for McDavid, dude. He's about to sign his 3rd contract.
10th year in the
He's
league.
been in the year for a decade. Like 12 years ago, they bottomed out. And now we may be in a position where are they going to bottom out again? And if so, how could you ever trust that anyone within that organization would pull the right moves off?
It's the crazier thing is some guy posted a pic. It was like a Hollywood Squares. It was just of 9 players or something. It was just O'Reilly. It was Eichel. Jake McCabe, Reinhart. It was, and I looked and I was
Cousins, like
if you put that on the ice, there's no way in hell it's a bad team.
No,
there's no way in hell.
And that's exactly it, man. There was a team. You're right. I saw that earlier today.
The board with all the players on it.
It's in our group.
2021, they had Eichel, Reinhart, Cousins, Thompson, Peterka, Middlestat. Taylor Hall was up there. They had a Poso still on the team. Darlene Montour, Jake McCabe. Allmark was in net. And
Allmark was in net.
Exactly. They've had all these players, and they've just unloaded them and couldn't find a way to make it work. And listen, some of it's on the players, of course.
Right.
But I look at Buffalo and I feel like there's just no plan, and it's just going to consistently be a team that is in the league. You know, they're a part of the National League, and there'll be 34 teams soon, and they'll be a part of that. Everyone's going to play 84 games soon, and Buffalo will play their 84, and then they're going to go home.
That's the thing. I mean, there's
Like,
so
they're a
much
seat
to unpack
filler.
here.
Buffalo's
There's so
a seat filler at the Tonys, or at an award show.
They're Kramer.
Yes, they're Kramer at the Tonys.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there, because is it the organization? Does it start at the top? Is there meddling?
Yes, the football team's very well run.
But I don't know. Again, I'm not privy to the information. I did like one thing they've done. They hired Jarmo Kekalainen. He's a really good scout. He's a really smart hockey guy as an advisor to Kevin Adams. It's clear, like Kevin Adams, I think that management team needs help. I think you always need to have more smart voices in the room. Now, the Kekalainen's been on the job for 2 weeks as far as being an advisor. Like, he might say this, you got to blow this thing up again and let's start another 5-year plan. Who knows?
I hear what you're saying about Kekalainen. What happened in Columbus that makes you think that's the next great architect of the sport?
You could argue that he's been through that all. It's unfortunate, but you look at a lot of the talent that rolled through Columbus as well. Like, Columbus isn't the destination, the sexy destination, a lot like Buffalo, right? But the one thing is you need to identify talent, and a lot like Winnipeg, you draft and develop guys so that you have cost control on them, and then when they move on, they move on. Like, that's the thing. You have to build a winning program. We talked about it yesterday. Like, winning programs, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be on the moon. People want a piece of it because
I just think, Jamie, like, there's so many teams that probably think that they're a few transactions away or a few young players getting some seasoning away from looking like the Florida Panthers. And I truly believe that they're absolutely joking themselves. Like, I truly believe it's so easy. What I've found doing this job for as long as I've been doing it is that there are a bunch of people that have no idea what the hell they're doing. And they fall in love with their own ideas, and then 8 years goes by and you don't make the playoffs, or you're not even close. And it's like, how did you trick an owner to think that this was some master plan? You do have to get fortunate. You do have to, you do have to find a Barkov and you find a Billy Zito that really kind of catches lightning in the Kachuk trade. And not everybody can win. But I think there are so many organizations that are living in a fantasy world right now to think that their team is remotely close.
It's funny, where did Zito come from? Columbus. He was number two.
How come nobody in Columbus recognized what they had there? I don't know.
I think you do. Again, it comes back to sometimes the market being, it's not as sexy. People leave.
Maybe it's all luck, Jamie. Maybe it's just luck. Like, you just everything falls into place. And all of a sudden you look like geniuses, and if it doesn't fall into place, you got people like me